Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're going to be checking out some high-level conceptual stuff about our relationship with music. It's one of those things where I think a little bit of thinking can really have a profound effect on your playing. It's rare that that happens so strongly, but I think a little bit of thought on this stuff, you'll see as we go along, it can be really a pretty incredible journey. So, music is a really powerful thing. It can reach deep inside us and connect with our emotions in a way that not many other things can. It can change or enhance our mood, it can fire us up, or it can really soothe our hurt. I'm not really sure that anyone understands the science of how that works yet. Maybe they will one day. I'm kind of hoping that they do. And for sure, I'm not absolutely certain about this, but I got some ideas that while they're not certainly the whole truth, there's going to be more to it than that. This is definitely interesting food for thought. I really think that some time spent thinking about how music works and how you relate to music can have a profound effect on your playing. So I'd encourage you to take some time out, some time alone with no distractions, and really try to get curious about music, musicality, and how you feel your connection with music. It's really interesting that music is known as the universal language, but it has no words. There are no musical phrases that mean I love you or I am sad or my woman done gone and left me, but we can kind of all understand these feelings that occur through the music. It's interesting that a phrase on the guitar might mean any or all of those things or none of them. So what's going on there? How exactly can that work? So there's definitely something going on here with expressing our personality through music. I first started getting deep into this when I was studying classical guitar, where everyone plays the same notes, kind of the same way, often with the same fingering, but definitely you can feel a personality of a player coming through the music when they play. If you listen to Julian Bream and John Williams playing the same piece, they sound very different. They bring out a different feeling in us. So the way that we connect with the instrument, definitely there's something going on where our personality somehow comes out through the notes. It's a really interesting thing to think about. Like when you're playing, somehow your personality or your feelings are being projected through the way you play, and somebody else can understand those feelings. It's mad, isn't it? But I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So while a classical music example is interesting in that the notes are exactly the same, of course, for most players, the notes are not set. If you're an improvising musician or a songwriter or a creative person in any way, you've got free choice of notes. You've got free choice of tone, what sound you got, the way that you play it. All of these, there's so many infinite variables here. It's your personality that's going to choose those things. It's going to choose the type of guitar, the type of sound that you like, that you feel like, oh, this is a great sound, I'm enjoying this. Your note choices, your dedication to knowledge, how dedicated you are to learning exotic scales or exotic chords, or harmony and theory. All of those things are going to have an impact on the way you play. So they all become a reflection of your personality. It's really interesting to note, though, that you don't have to have loads of technique or loads of music theory or anything like that, because sometimes the people that connect the deepest with the music are the people that don't have those things. What's important is understanding the connection between you and the music and finding a way to express yourself through the instrument, to open that conduit. Now, for sure, there is a kind of a technical ability to control the instrument that comes into this. If you're trying to play a ballad but all the notes you're playing are all buzzy and out of tune, it's probably not going to connect the same way. So there is a kind of a certain amount of technical prowess that you need to really effectively express yourself. But beyond that, there aren't really any limits. And sometimes even the technical imperfections can be part of the thing that you're expressing. I often think like Kurt Cobain with his power chords. He often laid his finger down and added this extra note in, which is kind of technically not right, but it created part of the sound and the character. It was the expression of his abandon, that he didn't care about getting those chords right. So again, his personality was reflected. And I feel like it's one of those things that if you make allowances for any technical stuff or technical issues you've got, but you really focus on this connection and the expression that you're putting into the music, it can make a huge difference to the way you play, the way you feel when you play, and the way people feel when they listen to you, which is kind of the key thing. Now, for a reason that I don't really understand yet, it does seem like it's easier to express sad emotions than it is happy ones. I don't know why that is, but I often suggest to people, if you want to try and tap into this, it can be worth being on your own. Don't do this with people around because it can be quite a powerful thing. And try and get in your mind a really sad event in your life. Okay, often, if I'm doing seminars or whatever, I don't want it to get too heavy, so I talk about, your cat dying when you were a kid or something, that like a pet die or a family member or something is serious, something that really affected you, probably in a bad way, some really sad event that happened in your life. Really dwell on it, bring it to mind. You're likely to feel pretty emotional at that point, and then grab your guitar and try and put that feeling through the instrument. Try and express it even if it's just one note. Don't try to get all technical or write a song or do anything like that. Just try and let it out somehow. See how it feels to do it. You'll probably find it's a very, very powerful experience. And I'm not suggesting that every time you play, you try and take yourself into that zone. I don't think that's how it works. But I think those kind of events and that kind of experience can somehow open the conduit that enables you to express yourself all the time. It's like opening a little door that gives you the possibility to express your feelings, hopefully happy ones as well, because we don't want to be just playing misery music all the time, right? I've talked quite a lot in the strumming lessons about the importance of making your strumming feel good and natural and relaxed. Generally speaking, that's what you're going for. It doesn't want to be tense and nervous because that's what you're going to be putting through the music. If you feel all tense and nervous when you play, when people listen to you, they're going to be feeling that you feel tense and nervous. That's not what you want. Generally, you want to try and be relaxed and comfortable because that's how you want people to feel when they hear you play. One of my favorite examples of this is Jack Johnson, acoustic singer-songwriter, surfy dude. His music just makes me feel happy. Even on the most miserable of days in the middle of winter, I whack some Jack Johnson on, I just feel like there's a little ray of sunshine coming there. It's just, there's something about his happy personality. It's deep, and I'm not trying to make it all like, superficially happy. It feels like he is genuinely happy, a genuinely nice human. I don't know, I've never met him, he might not be, but I suspect through the music that he is. And when I hear the music, I feel that. I'm like, yeah, this is great. Now, it's different for everyone, and this is probably the most profound part of this whole conversation, is that we all connect with different music a different way. And I feel like that our personality somehow connects in a way with the personality of the person that we're listening to, or the band that we're listening to. Or maybe, I'm not exactly sure, band's collective personality. Not exactly sure. There's holes in this stuff, right? This is, part of this journey is thinking about it. There's going to be an interesting food for thought. If this idea, this concept works well for you for a one-on-one relationship, how does it work with a band? Further food for thought for me. But my guess is that we either connect with a person, something about the personality of the performer that we really admire, that we like, that we would wish that we had. Their confidence or their thoughtfulness or their whatever, they've got some sort of trait in their personality, their creativity, their stubbornness, their rebellion, whatever. What is it about them that we might like? Or we feel like the artist is a kindred spirit, so we feel like they feel music the same as us, and therefore we feel related to them. I'm sure that's to do with that tribal feeling that people get when people like the same music. We all relate better to people who like the same music as us. There's this tribal thing, and I think it goes back to this kind of shared either personality trait, like this, the kindred spirit feeling, or it's to do with things that we would like ourselves to feel. And I think thinking about this and trying to dig into the music that we like and how it works, I think can be a pretty big deal. Without wanting to get too personal, there's things like, I really love Elliott Smith, who's one of my favorite writers. I think one of the things I like most about him is that he just doesn't care. He's absolutely his own person. And for me, sometimes I think I worry too much about what other people think of me, and I've got a feeling he couldn't have cared less. So that's something about his music that I feel like I relate to, because I wish I had more of that. I feel like Neil Young is more of a kindred spirit. Like I feel like he feels when he sings about stuff. I'm like, yeah, I feel like that too. I love Neil Young. Lately, I've been listening to loads of Taylor Swift. Maybe it's because my daughter likes her, or maybe it's because I'm trying to reclaim some of that youthful feeling that being young and so carefree. That seems a long time ago. Maybe I'm missing that. This kind of thought, I kind of feel like it helps me understand myself on a philosophical level. I feel like I get to know myself better by thinking about this stuff, and as a musician and trying to think about my connection with the instrument and what I want to play, and really trying to develop the musician in myself, I feel like comes through these kind of thought processes. So yeah, I really hope you find this interesting food for thought. Like I said, try and spend a little bit of time away from phones and computers and stuff, and just ponder it. Sit on by yourself, maybe in nature might be a good idea, and just really try and think about the music that you love, how you connect with it, why maybe you connect with it, and then maybe try and bring that back when you're playing, to try and see if you can put some feelings into the music. I often, when I'm doing cover songs, I try and really dig into what I suspect the writer or the performer was trying to get at, what they were feeling, why they connected with the tune, and I try to tap into that and trying to kind of regurgitate, re-express that feeling as I'm playing the song. And I feel like that helps me a lot. Hopefully it'll help you too. I really hope you enjoyed this session. Remember, there's plenty more lessons like this over on the website. This is part of the grade 3, so the advancing beginner kind of level. I think this is probably applicable to lots of intermediate and guitar players beyond if you've not thought of this, but this is where I'm popping it in that advancing beginner level. Yeah, really hope you enjoyed this session, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.